Since 1937, Ducks Unlimited has been the leader in waterfowl conservation, with over 15 million acres of habitat conserved. DU supporters and volunteers have led the charge to fill the skies with waterfowl, today, tomorrow, and forever. You too can play a role in leaving a legacy for the future of waterfowl hunting. To find an event near you or to join our volunteer team, go to www.ducks.org. Ducks Unlimited, the world leader in wetlands and waterfowl conservation.
Bottomland is Mossy Oak's original camo pattern created by Toxie Hayes over 3 decades ago. This pattern preserves the original design while applying advanced technology for increased effectiveness. The same field-proven components and colors, the same dirt and bark elements, the same ability to blend into dark environments and obscure a hunter's outline from every angle. Mossy Oak Bottomland.
Get 'em.
Welcome, folks. Y'all come on in and make yourself at home. This here, well, this is the Rolling Thunder Podcast, your home for all things Rolling Thunder. This episode is brought to you by Mossy Oak, because everything is better in Bottomland. Kent Cartridge, quality matters, performance counts. Shen Gear, waterfowl gear that is built better. Benelli USA, dominate the skies. And Ducks Unlimited, the world's leader in wetlands and waterfowl conservation.
Well, welcome to another episode of the Rolling Thunder Podcast. I'm joined by a couple of Roll Tides, Aaron Blackwood and Riley Bennett.
Roll Tide. A big one after this weekend.
Old 3-time Drake Levi.
Howdy.
And South Dakota's finest, Mr. Levi Gerke.
I'm here, present.
Man, it feels like it's been forever, but it's only been a couple weeks since we've all sat down and enjoyed a few minutes to podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Before we dive into today's subject matter, I want to let the world know that our friends over at Ducks Unlimited open the vault for a limited time each year. This year's Into the Vault national auction has items for everyone. With over 600 items spanning more than 20 categories, this is an auction that you don't want to miss. Offerings include but are not limited to decoys, special edition firearms, original artwork, renowned artist prints, vintage DU collectibles, sports memorabilias, hunting trips, vacation packages, bronze statues, and more.
Wow, sounds like a place we need to be.
And for the first time, a duck boat package that's ready for the water.
Wow.
That's something I currently do not own, is a duck boat package that's ready for the water. I own a bunch of duck boat packages, none of which are water ready right now.
Yeah. I need me a duck boat.
No, Girk, you don't.
You need a duck boat about as much as you need a dog.
I was going to say, 2 things at Rolling Thunder Caremen are not allowed to own: dogs and boats.
Yeah.
I said, this duck season, I think I'm going to get my own boat, so
Then
I can just
roll in right at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
No,
that's not how
that's
not how it works.
It's not going to happen that way. I'm sorry.
Get the B-roll later.
Yeah.
There's a real deep sense of satisfaction that everybody shook their head no before I could even open my mouth to that. I mean,
They know it. I can't get away with that.
Oh, well, anyways, the auction, it's online. It's ducks.org/vault, and the auction ends at 9 o'clock Eastern time this Saturday night, which is December the 2nd. So by the time you're listening to this, you've only got a few days left and you to dive into the vault.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. But seriously, a lot of cool stuff that Ducks Unlimited is auctioning off, and it's Christmas time, and we're recording. It's Giving Tuesday. I mean, because everybody has so much extra cash in their wallet right now.
I don't know.
Commas in their bank account. So, yeah. Do a little charity. Give back to the Ducks. Buy something cool. Get yourself something nice.
For the
Real
family.
nice, Clark.
Maybe even 2 of them. 2 for Tuesday.
Well, today's topics. What have y'all been up to lately?
Hunting, finally.
Flying like crazy.
Flying like crazy?
Plane to plane, it feels like.
Finally
Yeah.
lost in my fantasy league
Oh, gosh.
Womp.
To who?
Streak fell.
to Jordan.
At least it wasn't to Lauren.
All right, backstory.
It's even worse.
Jordan,
It's to
I was going to
Jordan.
say, Jordan is Lauren's best friend.
Yeah.
And you've been talking a lot of trash to Lauren and Jordan both.
Well, I mean, I try not to because I don't like when it comes back around and bites me in the butt.
But I mean, when you're undefeated, it kind of
there was a
speaks for
game.
itself,
So
right?
I've played Jordan twice now, maybe 3 times. I'm not too sure. I have to look, but at least twice. The first time I barely beat her, and I sent her a text at like 10 o'clock at night. that
Not
said,
today.
Not today. Then she sent one back to me after she beats me the other night. Said something along the same line. Sorry. Glad I'm the one that had to do it, or something like that. I'm like, God.
You think
That's
you're going
fine.
to take the winnings?
Honestly, probably not. My team's just kind of falling apart, and I'm over
Very
it. I'm gonna start-
Atlanta Brave-esque fashion, you would say.
Yeah. So I've won the most games, so they can't take that away from me.
Yeah, that's the same with the Braves, can't
Yep.
That's a win in your head.
The people's champ.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I don't even know how. So I lived in Memphis, Tennessee for nearly 30 years of my life, and I never went to Graceland. Mm-hmm. Fantasy football is kind of like that for me. I've gone my whole life. I don't even know how they score fantasy
Yeah.
football. Like, I don't understand it.
You would get addicted to it.
I'm sure.
Knowing you,
I mean-
I hope we don't have a Rolling Thunder League. Golly.
There'd be no work done around the shop. Especially on
All the
Friday.
TVs will be going.
Yep.
Pat McAfee show.
Yep. Everybody watching ESPN
Well, so
all day long.
how can you win all those different weekends, but then not win? Like, why do you not feel like it's a lock for you to win the whole league?
Because of I made the right moves off the waiver wire and at the right times and just timed everything up good and paid attention to it all, and now I'm just kind of losing interest in it.
So is it like a cumulative score? I mean,
Yeah, you get players. So you get like a quarterback, you get a starting bench, and you get a starters, and you got a bench. So in your starters, you got a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, a flex player, which could be a tight end, receiver, running back, a defense, and a kicker.
okay.
And you can have whoever on your bench.
But like, I guess what I'm getting at is, so it's not just like you win, they lose. Is there a score?
Oh, yeah, there's-
So like you could beat somebody really bad, and you could have enough margin of victory from that game to carry you through the rest of the season.
For tiebreakers, yeah.
Yeah, like if you have the same
If you have
win-loss record,
Right.
it's based off of how many points you've scored in the previous times.
Yeah. So, like, say if you're tied for first, and I've scored 5 more points than you have the whole season, I'm in first and you're in second.
Yep. So each week, whatever your points are, they add up and tally up throughout the whole season. So it's not just about numbers of winning and losing; it's about how many points your players score too. So you're screaming more at the TV than you do regularly
Yeah.
for teams that you don't like.
7 hours of non-interrupted football on Sundays.
Red zone, octagon.
My gosh. Unreal. Yeah, NFL has never, like, I watched the playoffs and the Super Bowl. That's about
Yeah.
it.
Fantasy makes it a lot more enjoyable for sure.
Yeah, whoever came up with that was brilliant because it clearly has increased the level of intensity
Oh,
and addiction and just like everybody involved in it is crazy.
So they have another version of it that Lauren's mom and stepdad plays. It's like FanDuel or something like that. It's kind of the same outline, but you can make money off of winning.
They also do one where you choose which teams are going to win, so it's like a selective. So basically, each week you select which teams are going to win, and if your teams win, then it's like a point system as well.
So it's just but it's sort of like a pick 'em. What in the world is that?
Sounds like
That's-
thunder. in
that
there.
sounds like a
Mark, come on in.
That's actually rolling thunder. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I hope you can hear that at home.
I can definitely hear it.
machine
They can
dust.
hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the one you're talking about is just like a win-loss pick-em.
Yeah, pick 'em.
You know.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
pick the team.
But you do it in a league, so it's
Right.
who picks the most of them right.
Right.
I did fantasy football one time, like right when it first got started, and I got killed. I chose nothing but Alabama players because I didn't know any better. Destroyed.
Yeah, don't ever
play
pick any
this one.
Razorback players in the NFL. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another strategy. You can't just pick your team players on your favorite team because
Yeah.
when they have a bye week, then you're screwed. Oh. Yeah. Then you're
But this is
just
a
gotta-
big deal. Like people.
people put big money into this.
Oh,
yeah, but I also see dudes. I think this must be what people that don't hunt do.
Yeah,
Like, I see them. I
Like
see
this
them
time of year,
going
100%. Yeah.
go on trips for their draft
Yep.
and stuff like that. Like, that is just really, really bizarre to me. Let's pause for 1 second. We've got a customer over here. Aaron, you want to help him out? All right, we're back. We had to have a gun customer. Good
Customers are important.
Frequent flyer gun customer. Yeah, customers are important. Thank you, Gert.
Ding dong out. Were you?
Gert, I
Service with
feel
a
like.
smile.
Hey, can I just say,
Go ahead.
you look great today, Gert.
Go ahead, go ahead.
You've lost a little bit of weight.
New
you've
shoes.
got
no
new
more
shoes.
dude. No more dude shoes.
You came in, you
Hashtag
kinda
thanks,
got that-
Mom.
Thanks, man.
You've got that sort of side smile, like life is good. I mean, you're.
Viewers couldn't see
We
that
should
face.
start videoing our
Tell us-
podcast. and
tell
He's
us-
got a million faces.
Tell us about the last few days, Gert. Did you?
The Dakotas always treat me well, and they treated me extra well this last weekend.
Man, you went home, huh?
I even got to shoot some pheasants. The old single shot that my dad ever, first shotgun ever. That was kind of cool. My dad didn't hit the broadside of a barn, and I'll tell a funny story. We get out, and there's 3 pheasants right in the ditch, and I pull up on one, blaze him, he's down, and I'm looking at this other pheasant. I break my shotgun down, and I'm like, I ain't got another shot. Of course, single shot. And I'm like, Dad, shoot that pheasant, dude. Dad, shoot that pheasant. Boom, lower left. Boom, higher right. Boom, to the right of it again. I was like, what the hell, Dad? I don't know.
It's on the ground.
Yeah, it didn't move. Its beak was straight south, and it did not move the entire time. I mean,
So did you drop one in and?
no, the thing finally flew away. My dad, we killed 8 pheasants out of our 9 that we were supposed to limit out on, and
That would have been the ninth.
that would have been the 9th.
So for most of our listeners, you know, I know it's going to surprise you, Gert, but our demographic doesn't know a lot about the Dakotas.
correct.
We've got some turkey call fans, some duck call fans, but I think most of our listeners are in the deep south. So explain to us what an afternoon pheasant shoot. You, your dad, and your brother. Like take us there. Get us. Tell us what it's like.
We get in that truck. We load 3 shotguns up into that thing, and they are loaded the second we leave town because there's no law. You can have a loaded shotgun right beside you, and if you get pulled over, they're like, oh, there's a shotgun.
Oh, you're pheasant hunting, eh?
Yeah, exactly. 100% orange hat in the dash. I don't do that. But anyways, the general rules of road hunting, because you can fire a weapon and get out of your vehicle and shoot them in the ditch. So you drive around, and they got that beady red head and the white ring neck, and they're very easy to see in that dull grass and everything. And they'll be just sitting in the ditch because they'll come out of the corn or wherever they're feeding, and they got to eat gravel. So that's why road hunting is so pronounced in the Dakotas, is because those pheasants, like after they eat, they got to digest their food by eating gravel.
Yeah.
And sometimes the dumb ones, they just sit out in the middle of the out of the road, or you see them in the grass.
So literally, like y'all ate Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And while everybody else is, you know, waiting on their 5th slice of pumpkin pie,
Me and my brother are going hunting.
and then, you know, putting on their flexible, stretchy pants.
Yeah.
Y'all are loading up in the truck.
100%. Every Thanksgiving.
Dr. Grid is looking for cocks.
Looking for cock. We call them ditch parrots.
Ditch what?
Ditch parrots, because they're colorful bird.
Dang. So y'all got some, huh?
Me and my brother, me and Drew went out one evening, and we shot 3. And then me and my brother went out, and it was, you know, it's a give or take situation. Me and my brother went out, and first 10 yards of the gravel road, I seen one. Fired my weapon, killed that bird. I'm like, it is on. And then from there on out, we didn't see another pheasant for 3 hours.
Oh.
It's just how the cookie crumbles. But no, it's fun. It's exhilarating when you see that pheasant, because you got to get out faster than all heck. Because I mean,
This sounds like playing Chinese fire drill as a kid.
Yeah.
With loaded weapons.
Those pheasants, they say that they can run up to 30 miles per hour.
Dang.
So I mean, once you get out of that vehicle, if it's a spooky bird, you got to be on your feet getting out of that vehicle.
Is all the corn been shelled?
Yep. I mean, and then a lot of them, you still got pheasant farms that they keep stripped rows and everything like that. Because then when the snow comes in, those pheasants use it as they use that more than CRP whenever they want to go and roost.
They use the crops?
Yep, they use the crops as a roost, and they'll use tree belts. I know you guys don't believe in those, but
Oh no, we believe in them. We've seen them. They're real.
I don't even know how to respond to that. I believe
We
in
just
them. I
might
just
call them like
didn't know.
windbreaks or
Yeah,
something.
I know.
Like
Tree line.
tree belts. Better behave or I'm going to get my tree belt after you.
How's your... yeah, exactly. When I hear belt, I think, I'd start flinching, tightening up. So what about these pheasants? How do you eat them?
we did pheasant poppers, and you can do pheasant poppers in two different ways, where you just cut the jalapeno in half, cream cheese the shell inside, and then pheasant and wrap it in bacon. I like to slice up the jalapenos and do like a little chunk of cream cheese and then your slice of jalapeno, and then you put the breast there, or you cut up the little breast and then you wrap it in bacon. Or like I've told you before, you can do like the cream and mushroom, where you take the whole breast and you leave it on the bone, throw 2 breasts in a crock pot, cream and mushroom, and any other things that you like, and you let that thing roll, and you come back and you enjoy it. I'm sad that I didn't bring any back, but
Yeah, but for those listeners back home, Girk promised
I
to
did.
bring me some pheasant.
I did break promise.
Yeah. I'm thinking about whether or not I'm going to forgive you.
Well, here we can do one better. We can all go up there and shoot some ditch parrots.
That's like a $5,000 trip. I mean, take everybody up there.
Yeah, that's true.
It would have been easier if you'd have just brought some of that delicious dark
You know
meat
what
down
we
here.
do to liars around here, boy. They go to the train station.
Well, I can't. We can't afford right now to do without Girk. So
Yeah.
he's got a long leash. Oh, well, good. I'm glad you had a good hunt, and I'm glad that.
I even tried to find the ducks up there just to kind of imagine, seeing it again, but everything is so dry up there, and everything is froze up there. So, I mean, the ducks and geese that are accumulated up there, they're keeping a hole open, and once they land wherever they are, I was telling right on the right end, they landed on a piece of property that I've never can get permission on it, and that was literally the only birds we found, so it was kind of sad. So then from there, I was like, telling my buddy, I'm like, screw those, let's go shoot these stupid pheasants.
Yeah,
I want to fire my weapon.
let's do some grid work.
Exactly.
Yeah. Was there any snow up there?
It did snow. It did snow up there when I was there, and then I got sick. I even put my scope up on a coyote, big male, but didn't get to fire the weapon at the coyote.
Dang.
Just didn't feel like it, huh?
He didn't give me the opportunity. He was running in the high grass, and I didn't have a clear shot. And deer season is still open. It was only 2 weeks, or they only get 2 weeks with rifle up there, so you kind of play your part on being fair to the other hunters, even though you're not deer hunting.
Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad you had a good trip and a good Thanksgiving. And about 5:00 on Thanksgiving Day, Lindy was like, "Oh my gosh, what about Girk?" She's like, "Should we invite Girk to eat?" And I was like, I gave Girk a few days off.
Yeah, even Lauren called me
Don't
and was
worry,
like,
Lauren did the same
yeah,
thing.
Lauren called me when I was on my drive to Nashville to the airport. She's like, you got somewhere to go for Thanksgiving? I said, yeah, I'm flying home. But Christmas, I'm going to have to join in on the Southern vibe.
All right, we have a big Christmas dinner at my house.
You going to get me some presents?
Sandy
How about
might
Christmas
get you
dinner?
some.
Okay, Christmas dinner. How about I feed you?
Just Sandy will make sure you got a stocking you can open up with everybody else full of candy.
I didn't even think about that. You're gonna stay here for Christmas?
Yeah, just because the weather gets pretty
Gnarly.
horrendous there, and if you try to fly back, then I might not ever get back for another 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're open back up on the WMAs.
Well, in Tennessee, we never close. So if we get some of that gnarly weather, Christmas Eve, day after Christmas,
Fire some weapons.
little
hit
Reno
the record button.
Yeah, we
Wood ducks. Beware.
I'm ready to get in the woods, though. That's one thing. I know you guys didn't have a fair start to your first.
Whoa! whoa! Don't be lumping everybody into the
Riley and Ray.
It started off pretty.
Riley had a pretty good start.
Yeah, he did.
As my buddy said, somebody hit the telephone pole and the whole county went out of power.
And that's just what happened. That's a shame that I don't want to get us on a rabbit trail here, but it's a shame there's that much habitat and all the infrastructure there, and there's no more water and no more
hanging out.
Somebody owes the ducks a big apology because there's plenty of potential habitat that's being underutilized.
Deer hunters are having a fine year.
I bet Saturday morning in Arkansas would have been a hellaciously good time to deer hunt with as many. I heard reports from all over the state. I'm sure y'all saw it and heard it, but just of massive numbers of duck hunters with very few places to go.
Yep.
Was it crowded?
Yeah, it was crowded.
I'll let them speak for
It
that.
was crowded, man. We were fortunate because we didn't really have a big crowd, and we had some stuff lined out that played our part and helped us out a little bit. But as far as getting in the masses, we didn't see it. But driving through town, I talked to a buddy that had like a 30-mile drive, and he counted like 42 to 45 trucks with boats.
Gee.
in
Yeah,
30
seemed like
miles
every
worth.
pickup had a four-wheeler or a Ranger. Or
Evidently, I missed
boat.
out on the invitation on the duck boat meet at the Walmart, the local Walmart. There was at least 20 rigs there.
Oh my gosh.
I missed out.
Like high school in a small town.
2 squatted trucks,
Like everybody bring their duck boat up here and we'll compare.
I was just trying to go get a warm-up lasagna or something,
Oh
and
my gosh.
it was bad.
I seen the
was
old Max
bad.
Prairie Wings had a crowd of people too, so I knew that it was probably going to be pretty loud there. I didn't have to text either one of them. I think I called Riley one day. I was like, "How's the hunt going?" And he said he burned them up. But no, I do wish I was hunting in the woods when you guys were.
I was full of piss and vinegar those first 2 days.
It dries up
Fell
quick
off pretty
though.
quick,
I was
though,
going to say, boy, when
once it gets rough,
those ducks have a way of just killing your spirits. Like, dang. I didn't go to Arkansas a single time the first split.
Really?
First time in my best I can tell, I went to Alberta like week before last, so I was there through opening weekend. And Saturday morning we were riding to a field we were going to hunt, and it was cold, not like bitter cold like it was when we were there last year. It needed to be a lot colder, but I mean it was cold enough, and there was enough ice that like the ducks weren't flying right at daylight. They'd wait till 8:30 or something. And so we were riding this field, and man, I was looking at some old pictures, and I had an Instagram post queued up with some old pictures and from some opening weekends of years gone by, and I was riding down the road. It was just me and Adam Campbell and Keelan, and had a good playlist going. It was kind of starting to reminisce a little bit. Man, I got kind of, not gonna lie, kind of got a little choked up. It was the first time in my adult life that I've missed opening day. Last year we kind of talked about it, threatened it, but we got home, like midnight Thursday night, and I got up Friday, kissed everybody, and I went and found me a place to hunt in Arkansas. But I mean, this year I didn't go, didn't even talk to my kids about going or my dad about going. And I was driving this field, and it kind of got to me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I started telling Keelan, I was like, man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little. I was kind of glad I'm not in the rat race, and I'm a little torn up this morning. It's kind of a national holiday. I wish I was there for. And Keelan, you know how Keelan talks. Keelan was like, "Oh hell!" He was like, "You'd be cussing somebody and mad as a wet hen and a fistful of bumblebees right now." I started laughing. I was like, "Damn, you're right." I'd be so upset about something right now. But yeah. Anyways,
It was a stressful week. Lord, it was stressful. Hoping water would show up.
We ate good though.
We ate good.
That's one thing you always do is you always eat good during duck season.
yeah,
When Dalton Elliott comes to town, you gain at least 10 pounds.
You really do.
that sucker can't cook.
He loves to eat too, so he's just always fixing something. And it smells too good, you can't not
Yep.
enjoy it. You know.
We got to do another cooking session video, Drake.
Yeah, some Diet Coke and a little.
We got to do something
Chef
a little
Drake.
bit different. We got to get extravagant.
Extravagant.
I can do deer steak,
That works.
fried deer steak, mashed potatoes, gravy.
There you go.
Got the grill all cleaned up. Blowdown is ready.
There you go. Oh, me. Well,
I miss it already.
Do you really? One day of polishing, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to go back and stare at an empty sky.
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh, I was prepared for the polish, and I knew it was coming. I was like, I got a good feeling I'm going to be polishing on Monday morning.
It's not as bad as it could be.
No, it didn't take me long.
But, yeah, speaking of polishing, man, duck calls have been flying off the shelf. It has been wide open. And I don't know where these duck calls go to. I'm starting
I wonder the same thing. I'm
starting to wonder, but like the businessman in me wants to find out where these duck calls are going. The realist in me doesn't really want to know. Like if but man, it's been crazy the last few days, and we're grateful for it. Really, the last few weeks has just been nuts. And I was talking to Jeff Farmer this morning. They're completely sold out of like all the normal size waders.
Oh wow!
And he was saying, he was just like, man, he's so frustrated because they had estimated that they're missing somewhere between 30 and 60 pairs of waders sold a day right now. Is the kind of the demand.
Oh my gosh!
I was like, oh my gosh! Wow.
So 30 to 60 times a day, they're telling somebody we don't have your size, we don't have your color. Like you're gonna have to choose something else.
Yep. And I was like, well, I know you're frustrated, but I said just take a deep breath and kind of imagine you're at the tower.
Yeah.
Like, you have more ducks than everybody else. You also have more waders sold than everybody else. Like just chalk it up.
Could be a lot worse.
Chalk it up as a W and enjoy it. But it's crazy to me how much like the sport of waterfowl hunting has grown in the last 5 years. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
I mean,
I do feel it.
I mean, no doubt.
I can't go anywhere now, and there's like, there's a truck that never used to be there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
There's no secrets.
No more secrets.
And Riley was telling me on the telephone several of the ramps he went to, just how many people and where they were parked. And Saturday morning we hunted our little place, and I was telling my dad, we were drinking a cup of coffee, and I was like, Dad, you wouldn't believe this. Riley told me this ramp and this ramp and this ramp completely full, and he was like, what?
Yep.
He was like, those ramps didn't used to be full even when the river was out.
That's what I'm saying. The river was at
I'm not. Well, it was low.
It was low.
I can only remember one other time opening weekend, the river being that low, and we got a colossal flood like the next week. You know what I mean?
That's what we were staying with guys that they've been living at those camps for like 13 years.
Yeah.
And he said, I can only think of one time. And it was right as soon as we moved in, about 13 years ago.
That's right. It was about 2010, 11, 12, somewhere right in there. And I think it was 11 because it was right after that. We had like the 500-year flood that summer. And then that winter we had a bad drought, but late in January it came, with a vengeance. And but yeah, just crazy to me that, and I'm not saying it to complain. I think it's awesome that there's a lot of hunters and a lot of people. It's definitely putting pressure on the resource. And what I would love to see is Arkansas and Tennessee both, and Mississippi. There's ways they could expand the habitat and expand the resources. And I think the ducks are there
for a second.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is in the world, I think there's a world population of ducks that can handle the hunters. Yeah. We just need more places to spread everybody out.
Yeah, it's real hard to hunt waterfowl without water. Yeah. And I think I was talking to, Logan, the guy that we were staying with, about this. Like, people didn't feel like they had to be there to get their days in because they were only compacted into these amount of days. They would have realized it wasn't worth their time. They were up there hunting because they felt like they had to be.
They had to be. Yep. And that is true about the 30-day deal. I think it's made it worse not only for non-residents, it's made it worse for the residents. Absolutely. because they just sit on the sidelines during the non-resident days, and then it's like during the resident days are busier than they've ever been, but then the non-resident day, the vice versa. The non-resident days are busier than they've ever been, but then when it's the resident days, it's like everybody comes out of the woodwork because they expect it to be a ghost town, and it's a madhouse.
Do they have any room? Might be a dumb question. Do they have any room to expand more public land in the woods, or is it all pretty much like what there's?
I've heard a talk about AGFC potentially buying a few more blocks from this certain company, but if it'll happen, I don't know.
You're going to get me on a serious rabbit trail. It's probably going to get my tires flatted, but Drake can vouch for this. The state of Arkansas, 20-ish years ago, voted in a 1/8 cent sales tax. So every dollar, 1/8 of a cent of that tax goes to a fund that finances all of Arkansas game and fish operations. Mm-hmm. But if you read that tax, like if you read what that tax is for, the primary purpose of that tax is to expand the habitat, to acquire new ground. But what they're doing with that is they're building nature centers, and they're buying four-wheelers, and they're building, observation centers, and they're
taking buckbrush out of rest areas,
exactly.
And planting stuff, for
spending
geese.
it on mulching mulching buckbrush out of the major sloughs, and there's a trickle down to all that. One of them is that Drake and I were talking about. When you mulch all that buckbrush out, the reason they do that is because they want the water to get off of those trees faster, and I get that. Like they're trying to improve the health of the trees. But one of the things that happens negatively when you do that is it opens up all those woods. Mm-hmm. And ducks are like rabbits. I mean, they're coming to those woods more for cover than they are for food. Sure, there's some things for them to eat in there, but I mean,
they love buckbrush. They love getting in buckbrush.
They like anything with thick overhead cover, right? I mean, and so they can feed all night long if they need to on water. There's an unlimited number of places for them to feed, but there's only so many places during the day or during the broad daylight that they can go and have, overhead cover from eagles and hawks and humans and everything else. Yeah. Well, then the other thing that happens when they mulch all that buckbrush is not only does it take away all the cover for the ducks, it creates just a tremendous unlimited number of just random hunting spots for people. Yep. And I mean, the old timers or the people that have been in there a long time, they love to cuss the people that are hunting in the sloughs. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's hard to blame a guy that comes from 500 miles away to buy meat. Don't know any better. He comes around a big curve and he's like, boy, this looks like a great spot. He puts out his decoys, shoots the hell out of them because the ducks can see the decoys and they can see the water and they love it, and they come in there and everybody else is like, you shouldn't be hunting there. And he's like, I just shot a limit amount. It's like, But and so it creates added dysfunction because it actually makes a pretty good hunting spot, but it messes up how the ducks work the woods, and so and then you got people driving through the decoys, and so it just sort of like it artificially creates more spots to hunt, but it kind of messes up the hunting for everybody. Mm-hmm. And
so this has been an ongoing problem for years.
In my lifetime, it has been. I mean, wouldn't you say? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's perpetually getting worse, and
I went up to a rest area this past week, expecting there to be some water because it normally has water. I mean, it's a rest area for ducks. You get there and half of it's dry. Mm-hmm. You're like, what's going on? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And if so water is one thing. Like they're not going to land on dry ground, in a rest area, anyways. And so that's a simple thing to solve, but they put that 1/8 cent sales tax in order to acquire new land because they understood 30 years ago that the state of Arkansas has been marketing duck hunting to out-of-town people for 40 years, my whole lifetime plus. I mean, to this day, you see television commercials, you used to hear radio commercials, you see social media ads. I mean, I guarantee you've seen a social media ad, Girk, on your Facebook that says, come buy your license, come to Arkansas. Like, they're actively campaigning for people to come over there. Well, the trade-off for that with the 1/8 cent sales tax was, hey, we're going to market this for our economy. We're going to bring people over to spend money and to go hunting. And in exchange, we're going to collect a little bit of sales tax and we're going to buy more land. And so there's millions of dollars that has been available to go buy a rice field or go buy a block of woods or go buy. And the argument you always hear is, well, the price of land, blah blah blah. But I mean, like, it's what you have the money for,
Right.
And isn't it like it goes down to like you go buy a Gatorade at a gas station, like that cent. There's a cent from that Gatorade. Like it doesn't.
It's 1/8 of a cent of every dollar of sales tax. Doesn't matter
matter
whether
what
it's
it
a
is.
car, whether it's a bag of potato chips. It has nothing to do with hunting, except that if the sales tax was 10%, they increased it to 10 and 1/8 cent, and that 1/8 cent goes into a fund, and it is millions of dollars. I mean, you can. It's easy to Google because it was a big vote in the state of Arkansas back. I don't remember when that was, late 90s or early 2000s, but
And they missed timely rains.
yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we had big rains.
Yeah, they're all. I'm not gonna say they, but there's a lot of people worried about the health and the price of trees that they want versus the health and helping the duck hunter out.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that this whole water management plan is for the trees' health and all this other stuff, but apparently it's just for lumber price.
Yeah, and
They're healthy whenever they sell.
I hate to sit here and just bag on the state of Arkansas, but man, it's like to me it's such an underutilized resource.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the money to go buy new ground, which would allow more people higher quality hunting opportunities. They have the ability to manage water. They have the ability to manage food. I mean, and then you talk about the timber. First thing I think about the timber is like, okay, fine. If we really care about the life of the timber and the quality of it and all that, that's great. But you go through Biomeda, through Dagmar, through Dave Donaldson, name the WMA, stacks of logs, overcup oaks just cut and left laying. Like
trash.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that ducks don't like to eat overcup acorns, but you can't tell me that's a trash invasive tree and that cutting it and leaving it in a cutover is more beneficial for anything than that tree living there. You know what I mean? Like
they're going to say it's for rabbits and deer, and they're going to say it's for ducks to hide in and things like that. But I mean, come on now.
Tell me this. I heard a private block of woods that burns their duck woods.
Really?
How hard would it be for them? Or, wouldn't it be cheaper? Or, going through and clear cutting all these, spots and blocks of woods if they just burnt woods and cleared them out, man, that would.
I have no idea. I mean, that's something I don't know about. We could definitely get.
Well, Arkansas burns every year.
Yeah, I know that like the state of Missouri does managed and controlled prescribed burns all through Mark Twain National Forest. I mean, people do burn hardwoods, but I do think there's I think you have to be careful, because I don't think they can withstand the kind of heat that pines can withstand.
Probably.
But
yeah, I figured there was probably a catch on why they didn't do it already.
There's always a catch.
I don't know, just.
If there's more water, you don't have 60 people running to a slough hole trying to race. Seeing whose daddy put more money into their motor to go faster.
Man. Well, Aaron, how was your duck hunting this weekend?
If you call duck hunting pulling a trailer back and forth with a bunch of furniture, it was great.
Moving into a new house?
Moving. Finally almost done. I got a couch and a TV left to get today and wrap it up. So
nice.
Almost
so you can
there.
Start focusing on that bobcat problem.
No kidding, man.
Bobcat problem.
I got a big one in my backyard, man. Took all my chickens.
You serious?
Yeah.
You should probably come over to my house and get my chickens.
Yeah, use them as bait.
That's fine. I don't care what you do with them.
Yeah.
Just make them
Thermal scope.
Yeah, make
You
them
need to
go.
get yourself a thermal scope.
Yeah, I do. That's absolutely going to be
Saturday
happening.
night, start drinking at noon, and get ready for that bobcat.
I don't know about all that. But
No, we definitely don't condone
Sounds
any
like
of that.
I was going to say that sounds like
Federal
really
government, we don't do that.
irresponsible
Yeah.
behavior. Get real drunk and shoot stuff at night.
yeah,
That's only South Dakotans.
yeah. Nope, I've got a cat problem to get taken care of, and that's next on the agenda. So
Big old bobcat.
it is a big old bobcat too, and he's living in the middle of like a cow pasture behind the house. So I don't know if he's doing work on those people's cows or not, but I'm
Bobcats are unbelievable
Man.
critters. I saw one time turkey hunting. It's been years ago, but I was sitting on a field that had just been disked up, and it was just slick dirt, no cover. I mean, just it looked like a baseball field. You know, the infield, just bare dirt. It had been disked and then dragged, so it was, you know, it was all slick. And this hen flew down, and she lit in the field about 30 yards from me and started yelping. And a bobcat came out of the bushes, and he closed like 75 yards to her across completely wide open, bare ground. And she kept looking at him, and then she would look at us, and then she would look at him. And she was nervous. She knew something was wrong, but she could not figure it out because he was not moving. And he was moving without moving, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, he was so fluid and slow that, like, if you were looking at him, you could not tell he was moving. But if you looked over, like, to the side and could kind of keep, you know, him in your peripheral, you could see that, like, he was progressing towards her. It was the weirdest, creepiest, like, it blew my mind. And he got to about 15 yards from the turkey, and she was, you know, loud, yelping, mad, you know, putting and looking at him and just still not sure what to do. And my dad goes, if you don't kill that bobcat and she catches that hen, I'm going to kill you. So I let him have it. But
I know this one behind the house is picky too, because I mean I had those chickens out there for probably 2 months, and you know, they were fine. And the people that have the property next to me, man, they got like a guinea farm going on. It's just crazy. And
he must not like the way guinea tastes.
Don't like it. I mean, I don't know, but he sure likes chicken. So I wish he would. I wish he'd take care of them guineas.
I feel like a guinea, if you cooked it, it'd probably have like a curry flavor to it. You
Yeah.
know, a little Asian Thai sort of Indian influence.
Yeah.
I don't know why I think that, but
Annoying as crap too, man. They don't shut up.
after that experience with that bobcat, though, I've never thought about bobcats the same way. I mean, he was like a robot. It was crazy. So, well, make a mess of him. Bring him up here to the shop, and we'll taxiderm him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get
Put
him
him
with a
on.
shotgun too. I've killed, I don't know, probably upwards of 10 of them, and every one I've shot's probably been in the deer stand too with a rifle, and every one I've shot is
Just get blown away.
Mangles them up.
Yeah. So, but
Get you a rim rifle.
yeah, yeah. We'll have to.
Speaking of Ducks Unlimited, our friend Gabe Baker, he's the regional director for West Tennessee, just walked in. Gabe, do you want to come give us an impromptu speech about the vault? We're just telling the world about the vault per Jimbo. Say hi to the world, Gabe.
But what's going on, guys?
You'll have to tilt it a little
Got
bit
me
more
on the-
towards you.
Gabe Baker, everybody.
Got me on the
Ducks
spot
Unlimited.
here. Yeah, so into the vault auction. I think this is our 4th or 5th one. Don't quote me on that. It's new to me, so
Yep.
But it's very interesting. People have found products and memorabilia from all over the country, and you know, it's an opportunity for everybody to get something that maybe they're missing in their collection, whether it be
Yeah.
a certain print from a series or maybe a certain shotgun that they're looking for.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. We've got a few things from West Tennessee here that are actually in that into the vault auction. So it's pretty awesome.
Awesome. How's everything in West Tennessee for you?
It's
Chapter's
great.
good?
You know, winding down the banquet season here. We've got Dyersburg tonight, going to be a huge turnout,
Oh,
over
yeah.
400 people, and Memphis on Thursday. So
Nice.
if you're looking for the premier sportsman's dinner and auction in the Southeast, Thursday night, FedEx Event Center, Memphis, Tennessee.
Where is the FedEx Event Center?
It's on Shelby Farms Park. So if you go down,
Like by the headquarters, by
Yes, sir.
Southwind
Yes,
Golf
sir.
Course?
Right by
all
the
that?
headquarters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be dang. Well, good. That's awesome. Well,
how's everything here?
I think we're okay. We're busy and have
Oh,
orders.
I guarantee
have orders
it
we
right
need
now.
to ship, but had to per Jimbo. We had to stop and get us a podcast in. The vault is pretty cool. I looked at some of the items the other day online, and there's a lot of really neat stuff there. And so,
Absolutely.
make sure you check
Well,
it
we
out.
appreciate the support.
Yeah, no problem. We're all in this together.
That's right.
Can y'all start pumping some water in a few places? Like, is there?
We were just talking about it.
Hey, if they start pumping it, let me know where.
No doubt. Man, it is definitely dry, but everything in life goes in cycles, and
sir.
this too will change. So.
sir.
This rotation year might just be a dry one.
Yeah.
Maybe Levi wasn't all that right on anything.
All the time I was up there, I was like, how about this rotation year,
Yep.
Gert?
Yeah, rotating
Y'all be
in the
nice
wrong
to each
direction.
other. Y'all be nice. This is a rotation year. Be nice to each other. All right. Well, anybody else got any agenda topics before we wrap it up? Go check out the vault. In case you didn't hear us mention it the first 4 times.
Ducks.org/vault.
Yep. / There you go. Ducks.org / Thanks for joining us, Gabe. And yeah, check out Ducks Unlimited's website. We appreciate those guys and all that they do for waterfowl and waterfowl hunters. So on tap today at the shop, we have book signing, kids' books. 3 o'clock this afternoon. They're going to let all the kids come up here from Fayette Academy. I walked in this morning, and I was. Oh boy! Yeah, I walked in this morning. I had a real sudden realization of how much taxidermy we have sitting around within the reach of toddlers, and I was like, "Okay, that's got to go up. That's got to go up. That's got to go up."
Right there on the table.
That's gotta go.
Yeah, somebody will rip that sprig out.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that. It does look like somebody has ripped his rear end out and tried to
You
stick
see
it back
from
in
this
there.
side, yeah, it's
He's been damaged, hasn't he?
yeah.
Gosh. Well, anyway, so we have book signing today, Sam's First Duck Hunt, children's book written by our friend Sarah Burkhalter. And then Thursday night, we got live at the shop. We're going to do some burgers. And old Dutch Vanderpool,
He's playing, huh?
man of the gun counter, he and his band, Rugged Company.
Oh, nice.
Sounds like a good time.
They're going to be playing Thursday night. And then Saturday night, we've got the Somerville, Tennessee Christmas Parade. Big deal, guys. Big deal. We're going to drag my non-water ready boat package
They don't know that. They don't know that.
behind the old black truck, the new black truck, not your black truck.
Yeah. So the boat's parade ready? Just
I hope
not
so.
water, yeah.
I did kick the tires this morning. I was like, man, my luck will be we'll have a blowout going.
Or have
You know,
a bearing
one,
just disintegrate.
going 1 mile an hour. We got a dozen people in the back of that boat, and the
Kick
tire
the tires,
flat.
flip the ratchet straps, slap
Yep.
the front, and she'll ride.
Say that's not going anywhere.
No, she ain't going nowhere.
Is the parade going to cover all 11 square miles of Somerville?
No,
Or
I think
just-
Have you ever been to a holiday parade? I don't think they go everywhere. I think they go a
No,
route.
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen
I think they're
them.
starting on South Main and coming up to the courthouse and making a loop around the courthouse, and that's it.
Okay.
But then we're gonna eat some chili up here afterwards. and
Nice.
have a good time. So
Awesome. Watch football.
ought to be a fun
Oh,
weekend.
God. Alabama's got Georgia.
Ooh, when is that?
Saturday.
I mean, what time?
I
know
haven't
it's
even looked.
Saturday.
I'm dreading it.
Probably an evening
Yeah,
game.
I would think so. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's going to be rough.
You think they got it in them?
No.
Georgia's good.
Georgia is good.
Georgia's good.
The only thing that makes me feel good is Georgia beat Auburn by 7 at one point in time of the year, but that was also week pretty early, like in between week 1 and week 5. Like it was pretty
Yeah.
early in the season.
Well, it'll be a good game nonetheless, and much like duck hunting, I'm not here just for the numbers.
It's about the quality of the time.
quality.
that we
That's
have.
right.
So I mean the
people that are around
Alabama
you.
Georgia game will be it'll be a great sporting event to watch.
Yeah, maybe it'll end up like the Auburn game. We can pull it out at the
Oh,
last
God,
second.
if it does, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
yeah.
I was driving down I-40 whenever they threw that Hail Mary.
Gee,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd chop-
unbelievable.
I chalked it up about 2 minutes before the game and went and started cleaning the garage out. And
My favorite thing about that game, and we'll end on this note, is did y'all see what Saban said after the game? They're
Bits
like
and
they
pieces.
put the microphone in front. Oh, what do you have to say, Coach, about that last play? And he's like, "Well, I'll be honest with you, we practiced that.
Oh, yeah. Practice it
we,
every
need
Friday.
we need to get better. All right, good game, Coach." That's the most Saban-esque thing. It's like, all right, guys, 4th and 31, gonna need to throw it to the back left corner of the end zone. Roll Tide.
yep, about an inch to spare. That's right.
And nobody in the country can call his bluff on it because
No.
No,
Yep.
he did it.
Who's going to tell Nick Saban he's a liar?
Exactly.
that's right.
So, Well, all right. Yeah. What do you think, Gert? Wrap it up here?
God bless America.
Did you say God bless America or gotta bless?
I thought he said God bless America.
No, God bless America.
I'm pretty sure you said God.
I'm pretty sure you said gotta too.
No. I meant to say
me.
God bless America.
Yeah. Let's gotta bless America. How about that? We'll throw it all in there. Well, thank y'all for listening to another episode of the Rolling Thunder Podcast. We will catch you on the next one.
See ya.
Peace.
Hey, y'all, this is Spence and Frawley, and just wanted to say thank you for listening to another episode of our podcast. We really, really enjoy producing this podcast and would be really grateful if wherever you get your podcasts, if you would subscribe to the Rolling Thunder Podcast and give us a 5-star rating. Somehow, apparently, out there in internet la media land, that helps our podcast to be found by other people like you. So we just want you to know we appreciate you listening, and we'd like to ask you to subscribe and give us a 5-star review and keep on listening.
And unfortunately, recording podcasts don't pay the bills, so we just do this for fun and for y'all, and we want it to grow as bad as y'all want it to grow. So we could really use your help in doing that.
Share it with a friend.
Yes, right. We appreciate y'all stopping by again.
Thanks for listening.